The message can't be much clearer. Radio's on and it's Gov's comedy. What's behind me in the mirror? Oh, that's right, it's also on TV. I can't wait for the action. I'm sick of sitting around here trying to read a book. I need a laugh reaction. After I watched just once, then I was hooked. Now I don't want to miss any Saturday night, you know I'm tuned to Govs. I get to see Don and Benny. It's Pasusu, put up, shut up, and stand up.
Snowing in Cali. Southern California got some snow. And Penny, it's beautiful here. It's coming down. I'm an untrained meteorologist reporting on the snow. I mean, it's in the streets. God damn!
All right, everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GovsRadio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Boxcast. And like our good friend Ken Pichello, we says, we on TV, y'all. And yes, indeed, we are, folks. I'm your host, Don Sill, and we got a great show in store for you today. A lot of Rodney Dangerfield stuff going on today. With Dave Erwin, who's trying to get the statue erected right there in Babylon Village. And we also went to the restaurant Jameli's in Babylon Village as well. And also we have Sam Tallent, the author of the book Running the Light, is also on the show. So it's a great action-packed show. But without further ado, here's my good buddy, Benny Gagooch Rizzuti. Benny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Don. How are you, man?
Doing good. It's snowing. It's snowing today. And
yeah.
So I'm hoping everyone is snuggled up tight, nestled in their beds, watching us right now and sharing the link and letting the world see Pasusu in full action.
The Pasusu and blizzard.
Yes, it's a blizzard. I mean, some people say it's going to be an inch or 2 inches. The news is saying it's going to be like a mini blizzard here. I guess we'll have to just look out the window and see. A
nor'easter. They're calling it a nor'easter.
Good evening, everybody. It's David Schlotthauer here, and welcome back to another detailed update on the upcoming winter storm that Fancy Hippie, William Bright, and also Alter were tracking over the last couple of days. This could be the potential for one of the strongest winter storms in a long time, threatening to bring blizzard conditions and winter storm warnings for the Northeast.
Yeah, I hope not. I really do.
I hope not too, because there's nothing worse. Not that I'm going anywhere. I mean, luckily, I work from home, but I just don't want to drive in the snow. I hate it.
So certainly a very wicked, possibly one of the worst snowstorms, definitely so far this winter season.
And the shoveling, I don't know, you don't have to do that, but my snowblower broke.
Oh, damn, yes, you got to get it. But you got your son.
Yeah.
Ryan can get out there and
yeah, that's an idea, yeah.
You get no respect. At all.
I never got any respect. I can't win, Don. I can't win.
I can't win. They used to be Benny's
20 years ago.
Yes.
That was my catchphrase. Yeah.
It's great to be here, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, it's great. I'll tell you, I didn't think I could make it, though. I can't win. And I can't win. I can't win, though. I can't. No. I can't win.
Yes, indeed. And it was good stuff, man. And and speaking of catchphrases and no respect, we're getting involved heavily now with this Rodney Dangerfield statue that we want to see get built over there in Argyle Lake in Babylon Village. It's just a lot of fun being a part of this right now.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be a part. I'm glad, it just started that. I believe I read it in the paper. I told you about it. And the next thing, we got in contact with the man, who's got the ball rolling. And it's really awesome. It's really exciting that I really want to be a part of. Let's get the Rodney Dangerfield statue.
Yeah,
I want to. Let's get it in Babylon Village.
We need to, like you said, give Rodney the respect he deserves, but also, he's a Long Island homegrown comedian, a legend. He's done so much for comedy, so much for comedians. He's launched so many careers throughout his time, and it's just hard. I think we're getting close. I think we're going to make it happen.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dave Erwin's really, really working at it, and some people just get this a kind of epiphany or this calling that they just have to do it, and kind of like, remember Close Encounters when Richard Dreyfuss he just kept seeing that mountain and he made and his mashed potatoes. And Dave took it and ran with it, and he's making it happen. He got, and we have a whole interview with him.
We have an interview, so yeah, I don't want to give away anything. But it's amazing what this man has accomplished so far is amazing.
He's an amazing guy, a great guy, and he's doing this for Rodney and his family, his widow, and he's just making it happen. And he's giving respect to the man who claimed he never got any. Here he is, everybody. Dave Erwin. Here's the interview. This is in Jameli's restaurant, by the way, which is a very beautiful Italian restaurant and
great place.
Restaurants on Long Island are still open, so go. I'm urging everyone, go to Jameli's. It's a beautiful restaurant. You get a
the
nice
owners
meal.
are great people.
Great people.
They are, and
the food looks amazing. Yeah, I was looking at their menu online and everything, and I'm like, my mouth starting to water. But Jameli's right there. It's right in the heart of Babylon Village, right near the Argyle Lake. But anyway, without further ado, here is Dave Erwin, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out.
Looking some time for a couple more. How about you? Come here, young man. Come here. Oh, and what's your name, young boy?
I'm Dave Erwin, Santa.
Oh, Dave Erwin, it's so good to see you. And what can I give you this year for Christmas?
Can you bring the statue of Rodney to the village for us?
Well, if I could go ahead and employ one of my fattest elves to lift it up and put it in my sleigh this year, I think we could definitely try to do something. But then again, he's been eating so many candy canes and hookers.
I thank you, Santa. That'd be very helpful.
Do the hat line.
Now, Santa, where did you get that hat? Did you get a free bowl of soup with that too?
Oh dear. Along with the soup, it also came with a surcharge from Party City.
How did you get the idea to do this? What made you say, you know what, I want to take on this Rodney Dangerfield thing? I love him, and now I want to make a statue for him.
Right.
What started that?
Well, I guess it was a long process. I grew up in the village here, beautiful little village to grow up in. And I became a fan, I guess, in my early 20s. And you would hear different people say, yeah, Rodney was born here in the village, and you'd hear different rumors and stuff like that. And that always stayed in the back of my mind. And it was like, this man needs respect. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try.
And that's the story of my life. No respect. I don't get no respect at all.
So, like, it was about 4 years ago, Kew Gardens did something for him. Because after he moved away from here, he lived in Kew Gardens.
Right.
And they did a nice mural on the side of a building with a nice little plaque. And I'm saying, I don't understand why the village isn't doing anything. So that stayed in my mind, and I guess it was about 9 months ago, my phone was blowing up with Rodney stuff, and I didn't Google him. It was just boom, 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 checking it all out. And I said, okay, that's my sign. I don't know how to go about it, but I'm gonna do something.
I mean, it's not easy being me. When I was born, the doctor told my mother I did all I could, but he pulled through anyway.
So one day I'm talking to my son. He's out in California. It was a Saturday. And checking on him. How you doing? We're talking. And I said, Dave, I need to get this project going. He goes, I know, Dad. I know how passionate you are. I said, but I don't know, but I got to be smart. I got to either contact different people and, tell them my intentions is to get this gentleman a memorial of where he was born. He goes, all right, Dad, I got you. Not realizing he's Googling as we're talking the lawyer that Rodney had. So fast forward to that Tuesday, I text my son, I said, any word? Calls me right up. He goes, Dad, I just spent 15 minutes on the phone with Mrs. Dangerfield. She thinks you're the sweetest person to want to do this. Here's my phone number, and you can call me anytime. Okay, I'm like, oh, this is really gonna happen, So
why don't you get Mrs. Dangerfield involved? Now
I'm thinking I'm gonna get a phone call from somebody, or not, But it was like, Mrs. Dangerfield, are you kidding me?
So it goes from just an idea with you and your son to all of a sudden, I got Joan Dangerfield involved in this thing, the widow of Rodney. It's just now taking a huge leap.
Right. And I'm like, hummada. I'm like Ralph Crampton. I'm like, what? So I went out and I picked up a notebook to write some things down that I wanted to ask her. Rumor was where he lived and stuff like that. So the following day, I give her a call, and sweetest woman you ever want to meet. And I tell her who I am. Oh, hi, And I said, you know what? It's an honor and a privilege. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now. And I'm also nervous. She goes, oh, don't be nervous, So I was fine, and we talked for over an hour the first time.
Wow.
She was telling me things about Rodney that nobody knows about, and she was just so personable and very sweet lady. And over the 9 months, we've become friends. Who else can better be on your side than Mrs. Dangerfield?
Yeah, exactly.
And then one day I came down to Jameli's here, and we had a conference call with Derek and Stephanie and Mrs. Dangerfield, and I put my phone right in there, and we talked, and
Very cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Now, whereabouts do you know where Rodney grew up around here? Like, do you know where was his stomping grounds?
I had an older gentleman about 3 months ago when I was walking. I walked into the golf store, which I think Golf Unique or something like that. And the older gentleman said, did you know where Rodney lived? I said, no, I really don't, besides rumors. He goes, well, I'll tell you where he lived. He lived on the north side of the railroad tracks, and where there's baseball fields, Little League baseball fields, there was 4 houses. He lived in one of them. They knocked the houses down to build the fields. I said, wow, okay, there you go.
Rodney Dangerfield was born Jacob Cohen on November 22nd, 1921, in Babylon, Long Island.
But one thing about Babylon, the population never changes. Every time a kid is born, some guy leaves town,
Why Argyle?
Because since I couldn't pinpoint the house that he grew up in and figuring out and all that, I said, you know what? Argyle, let's make it the center of attraction of the village of Babylon, so more people can see him instead of putting him on a corner somewhere, and he'll be on display as a regular guy, and Argyle,
So I saw some of the renderings. There's 2 renderings that I saw of Rodney.
Right.
How do you want to memorialize him as far as the pose and the rendering?
I'm going to leave that totally up to Mrs. Dangerfield, but we've discussed it, and she likes the old signature grabbing the tie,
Yes.
and So I leave everything up to her. I don't do anything that she doesn't know about, and of course she's got to have the last say and everything.
Now you also mentioned too that there's a moment when you were working on this, and that you kind of felt almost like Rodney was whispering in your ear with the saying
Right.
that you want to put on the plaque
Right.
on the statue.
Right.
Tell me what the saying is and what inspired that and the story behind it.
Okay. One night I'm watching TV, and I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be a plaque, and the notebook that I bought to write stuff down is become the Rodney Dangerfield book. And I write my contacts down and my notes and thoughts and ideas and stuff down there. So I get up and I grab the book, and I'm thinking, and all of a sudden it just starts flowing. I've made millions of people laugh as I searched for love and acceptance. I lived a full life and came back to where it all started from. Thank you, Village of Babylon, for giving me what I longed for, respect. And I wrote that, and I'm like, sounds pretty good for me. So a couple days go by, and I'm talking to Mrs. Dangerfield on the phone. I said, by the way, I just jotted something down, and I'm gonna run it past you. You can tell me yes, no, throw it out, whatever. It just came in my mind. So I read it to her, and I felt she got a little emotional on the other end, the other end of the phone. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And she goes, no, don't be sorry. Do not change a word on that. That is beautiful. And I said, thank you. I felt that the spirit of Rodney was right there saying, kid, this is what you're gonna write. And it just flowed, and that's what's gonna be on the plaque.
It gave me the goosebumps. It passed the goosebump test. It moved me. So I really like that a lot. What else do we need to do to get this statue built?
Well, I'm making an appointment to meet the mayor, and I have a councilman coming with me, and I'm going to lay it all out to her, and hopefully she likes the idea, and I'm going to explain to her how it's a win-win for the village. Besides giving the gentleman respect, it's a win-win for the whole chamber. People can do all kinds of things, and just there's millions and millions of fans. So the people that are going to come to this village and spend money on top of seeing the statue is the extra, or the bonus what the village is going to get. Besides, the number one reason is to pay this man respect.
Right.
But he's going to be in full display, and
it will draw people, to come here, see the statue, take pictures of the statue, all that stuff, and then, like you said, then they'll come to places like Jameli's, and lunch and dinner and all that kind of stuff. So,
right.
I think this is great. So, what's your call to action? Look right into the camera. Tell the people what they need to do to help you.
What do they need to do? They need to get on board and maybe come down to Jameli's here if you're locally and sign the petition, and or go online to the Facebook page, to the Rodney Dangerfield Project, and just support us. Once I meet the mayor and see what else we have to do as a group, I'm sure then there'll be a board meeting, and we're going to present it to the board. And once we get the go-ahead, we're going to start the funding and just have so much support. And the night of the board meeting, I want to pack that room with Rodney fans, just to see how much support that Rodney truly had.
And people can get that information about when that meeting will be, so Rodney fans can go. That will be on your group page.
Yes.
The Rodney Dangerfield.
Yes, I'm going to post all that on the Facebook page.
Okay, cool. And I'll put the Facebook information in the info of this interview, so people could follow the page and know when that this is going to be happening because there's lots of Rodney fans, especially on Long Island, but all around the world.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
And tell us, what's your favorite Rodney line? Do you have a favorite Rodney joke?
Not really, because they all made me fall out of my chair. But the one joke that made me realize that he was truly from the village was, he says, the town was so small I grew up in that I plugged in my electric razor and the trolley stopped. The village of Babylon had a trolley.
Right.
So without having proof, that proved to me that man was from here. You can Google him and they'll say Deer Park. I don't know what was up with Deer Park or just Babylon, but the village of Babylon was truly where he grew up.
I was born Jacob Cohen, C-O-H-E-N, in Babylon, Long Island, 58 years ago.
So I saw that too on his bio page on Wikipedia. It says Deer Park or whatever.
Right,
but Deer Park is great.
Exactly.
But it's Babylon is where it's at.
The village is where
the village of Babylon.
Let's do this, people.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I guess to remember me, well, I have an image that I created. I don't get no respect. And that's something that will stay on, I guess, after I'm gone.
All right, Benny. So, yeah, Dave Erwin, that was fun stuff, huh?
Yeah. No, really, very interesting. I'm rooting for the guy. And I think that anyone in Babylon Village who knows about it, they're going to root for him too.
He's in touch with all the right people over there, like the mayor of Babylon and all the local politicians who are going to help hopefully get this thing going. I think he's got enough signatures. But if you're in the town of Babylon or in Babylon Village, go to places like Jameli's where they actually have the thing to sign. And the petition, yeah, it's right there. And go sign it because I think they need. Yes, they have all 3,000 plus signatures online, but they really need signatures from the people in the township as well. So if you live in the Babylon area, go please and sign the petition hard copy.
What's that I see on the TV? Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up is on the TV. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. Don and Benny, they're awesome.
Oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me.
Hi, it's your lovely Renee May. I'm attempting to put the Christmas lights on a tree. I went outside and I don't have any trees. I forgot I took them out. So I thought, oh, Renee, why don't you put them on yourself? But then I remembered also, I don't know how to get them off. So now I've got lights on me. Do you see the ridiculousness? You know what? Next year, Bobby, you're coming over with a tree and you're putting it on yourself. I do nails. I don't do lights. I do nails. Nails. Anyway, who even needs a tree? I'd rather put the lights on my bottle of wine. Or the nails. I could put lights on nails.
Oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. Oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me.
Sorry.
We do have a interview with this comedian named Sam Tallent. Sam Tallent is a kind of a rising star out of the Denver comedy scene. He was like ranked in 2019 Just for Last Festival All-Star and all this stuff. And he wrote a book called Running the Light, which I love this book. I've been reading it. I'm still reading it. I'm trying to get done with it. But it's called Running the Light. Cool. Yeah, and it's about a comedian. And it's a kind of a dark book about this comedian on the road, and it's 1 week out of his life. And right now it starts on with Monday, and right now I'm up to Friday, so I'm almost done with the book. But it's really a good read. Sam Tallent is a very funny guy, and you want to see his interview?
Yeah, of course. You built me up, man. I want to see it. Come on. What are you going to say? All right, Benny, you can go now.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Tallent, everyone.
I didn't know how weird of a body I had until a friend walked in on me changing. Because I got the kind of body that someone like, they see you with your shirt off and they apologize. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, God. Like, my buddy walked in on me changing and he saw me shirtless and he made the following noise. He saw me and he went, like that. Just a little tea kettle of terror going off in the doorway. That's not the noise you want your body to make someone else make. Not unless you're deep inside of it, you know? Probably shouldn't do that when I say deep inside of them. That intimates the old puppeteer, right? Jim Henson? Okay.
All right, everybody. Our next guest is a true road dog who performs at least 45 weekends annually all across America, Canada, and even France. He's called the absurd voice of a surreal generation by the Denver Post and hailed as a new face at the 2019 Just for Laughs Montreal Comedy Festival. And his critically acclaimed debut novel, Running the Light, is a dark, hilarious view of a comedian on the road and has been getting rave reviews. Here he is, folks, the one and only Sam Tallent. Sam, how's everything going, my friend?
Good, Don, man. Thank you. That was such a kind and generous introduction. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you doing this, doing the interview. I know you've, you said you just had a problem the other day. Your dad, is he okay?
Well, yeah, like a week ago we were supposed to do it, and then I had to drive out to L.A. to do fucking Marin's podcast. Sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, you could swear.
Okay.
And I'll take a backseat to Marin, WTF, any day. WTF.
It's very big of you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But then even more pressing, yeah, my father, he tumbled off a ladder, and I had to go down there and, make sure he wasn't broken and crippled forever. And luckily he's sturdy, he's strong, and he persevered. So here we are.
Thank God. Yeah, was he hanging Christmas lights or something?
Yeah, he was helping my mom organize her house for Christmas, and she was, demanding where he put stuff up, and I think he did it on purpose, man. I think it was better than
listening to
mom. Yeah, he took the dive.
So that's cool. So if it's her house, and I'm assuming they're not together, and he still goes and does handyman stuff for her, that's pretty cool.
No, they're together. My mom my mom had a stroke, so she's incapable.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah, she's fucking useless, man. So, so we all got to carry her water for her,
Yeah, well, thank God your dad's okay and your mom's doing okay, and the house, I believe, is probably all decorated now the way she likes it. So
that's right.
The book, Running the Light here. I got the book here. I'll show it.
Hell yeah, man.
You signed it. I don't know if and where's the signature here? I know what this. There it go. Well,
signed every damn book I've sold, man. The whole signed book thing was a dumb move. I probably would have saved I probably would have saved like 2 actual days of my life if I didn't agree to sign them all. But people are buying them, and I'm grateful.
Hey, man, people are gonna put these away because when you really blow up and this book becomes a collectible, we all have signed copies.
Well, thank you, dude. But you know what's weird about that is I was thinking about that is, you remember like the Death of Superman, that comic book?
Oh yeah.
And how everyone went out to buy Death of Superman because it was going to put their kids through college.
Yeah.
Man of Steel has proven to be as vulnerable as the mere mortals who've looked up to him for more than half a century.
And then everyone had 4 copies of Death of Superman. I'm worried that the unsigned versions are going to be the ones that are worth more money.
Right.
Because I sold so many that are signed.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because now the Death of Superman comic book's worth like what? The $2, $5?
Who knows, dude? Yeah. Lucky if you get that.
Same thing happened with so many things I collected as a kid.
Oh, me too, brother. I was heartbroken a lot by the whole supply and demand situation.
Yeah, man. But dude, I've been reading the book. I'm not done with it yet. I'm like halfway through. I'm up to Thursday night. I just got through Thursday.
Right on.
Billy Ray's been going through some stuff. What a week he's having so far.
Tough one.
I do love where this is going. And already, and I think I've read 80 pages or so, and already I've laughed out loud. I actually got choked up at a part when he was remembering the good times with his wife and his ex-wife. And then there's a couple other steamy parts in here. There's everything you can want. I'm only 80 pages in, and this thing is really awesome.
Well, thank you, Don.
Yeah, man. And when did you come up with this concept that you were going to write this book about Billy Ray Schaefer?
Oh man, I mean, it wasn't really planned out, honestly. Like my wife did her first 2 years of med school in Las Vegas, and I went from being in Denver, where I was just surrounded by friends and family all the time, and when I was on the road, to being in Vegas and just kind of being lonely. And she was gone at school or studying constantly, so I just I always wrote short stories, and then I guess a short story just got longer than a short story, and then part of that, I wrote like 150,000 words of one thing, and then part of that turned into the first chapter of this book. And then I just kind of like, this whole Billy Ray Schaefer guy, I was like, well, shit, I want to find out what he's up to, So I just kind of followed him out to whatever logical decisions I think he would make and whatever like disgusting debauchery he would be involved in. And it was kind of easy to write just because, we've met so many guys like this, dude. And it's kind of fun to figure out what happens between the legendary stories. And that's what that book's all about, the other 23 hours of the day where you're not on stage.
Yeah, man. That's what I love about it. And when you're writing, like, because I write short stories too.
Nice.
And
man.
A lot of times when I write, I'm literally kind of, when I'm typing away, I don't know where I'm going yet.
Yeah.
It just takes me there.
Hell
and
yeah.
And then like even the characters I meet and things like that. Is that similar to how you construct it? Like, do you have the ending already, or is it you don't know yet?
No, man. Yeah, I love how you put that, the characters you meet, because I had nothing preconceived about this guy. And then I kind of figured out that, like, okay, he would probably work these kinds of rooms, and these would be the kinds of people who would open those rooms. And this is the relationship this guy would probably have with the women in his life. And, oh, yeah, he probably is a shitty dad. And it just all kind of grew out of that, like I can't write with an outline or anything like that, because then I feel like I put too many restraints on my creativity, So yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. I'm learning just as much as the reader is, kind of.
Yeah, and that's cool. And I do think that's a good way to write. I think some people need to be more, outlines and all that. And then there's other people that free form works better because it leaves room, like you said, you're not constrained, it leaves room for improv. Like, now, is there a picture in your head of what Billy Ray looks like?
Yeah, man. I mean, he actually kind of looks like you would, but not as if you were like disgusting and broken, because you have like bright eyes and a winning smile, but kind of has the same hair as you. And I imagine he has like a nice beard. I always imagine him with mutton chops, man. That's what
I could see him with the mutton chops. Yeah,
big mutton chops. And if I had to pick someone to play him in the movie, it'd be John C. Reilly with mutton chops.
I could picture that now. It's going to be in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, but he has like, great. He's got a broad face like yours, a very American face.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you had like, if your nose was fucking red from doing blow 13 hours a day,
So is it based off of anyone? Like, did you know it? I know this is probably a combination of characters you've met throughout your life, but is there anyone like, because in the beginning how I found out about the book and then you was with Doug Stanhope.
Yeah.
And he loves this book, and I see why now. I've been reading it. It's amazing. So at first I was imagining him.
It's fucking horrifying. Have an AA guy tell you to your face he's supposed to be the know-it-all, and he tells you that your career is dependent on your disease. Kind of a scary proposition.
But then as you start to describe little nuances about him, I'm like, no, it's not Stanhope. But no. John C. Reilly, I see, yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as like looking like John C. Reilly, I don't think John C. Reilly's
the guy
as depraved, hopefully, as this guy. I'd be heartbroken to find out he was. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I'm sure you've met at least 5 Billy Ray Schaefers in your comedy career.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, is like every comedian knows this guy or knows multiple of this guy, and they all have different names. And they all have different legendary stories. But there was like a guy named Troy Baxley when I was coming up, and a guy named Rick Kearns in Denver, who you just heard these insane stories about, and you were like, when you're starting out, you're like, Jesus Christ, I cannot wait to be on the road and living like that.
Right.
And then, you know, you get a little older in comedy and you're like, good God, how long were they doing stand-up when they were still pulling that shit, you know? They didn't know better. They didn't learn anything. So there's just, it's a handful of people. And then you go on the road and you hear stories about people. And, you know, we all pass around these kind of anecdotes and ghost stories about comics we've heard. And I was able to, you know, just pick and choose some of the best ones of those and kind of adapt them to fit in this guy's life.
Dude, like I said,
like the John Fox jerking off in the mayonnaise jar story that we've all heard.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know, there's just a million different stories about joke thieves and what would go down in the condo and whatnot. And you know, you just kind of put them all in a blender and mix them up and personalize them to this guy.
I think it's cool, and I do love some of the antics on the road. And like you said, it's about all the hours that throughout the day that are not on stage, and what this guy goes through and what he gets himself into. And I don't want to give away too much, so because I want everyone to get this book and read it, get the autograph book, so Sam has to sign even more copies. But some of it, man, like, all right, we can mention the bird shit, duck shit bingo, right?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah.
So this game, I'll let you describe it. So there's a game, duck shit bingo. Tell us about duck shit bingo. And this is real, huh? Like, have you ever seen that?
Yeah, man, for sure. I've all the shows that happened in this book, like I have done these shows. Yeah, so I was in Greeley, Colorado, which is a slaughterhouse town in northern Colorado, and we get there, me and the feature, and everyone's losing their minds because there's a bingo. There's like a big tarp laid out with numbers spray painted on it in a bingo grid. And then there's this big, just disgusting carny. And he's got a duck and he's holding the duck over his head. And everyone's looking at it like it's a deity or like a fallen star. And he just has this duck and he lets it loose and everyone loses their mind. And we're like, what the fuck is this? And then whenever the duck shits, that person wins part of the money that's been collected to buy a card, you know. And people, and I've heard they do it in southern Ohio. I've heard I guess it's like a pretty big, like I don't know, like formerly German territories, like North Dakota, northern Colorado, southern Ohio. But yeah, duck shit bingo, man, it's real and it's disgusting and it's a blood sport. People fucking love it.
So this is crazy, and I loved in the book too the disdain that Billy Ray had for that carny guy. That he hated.
Well, that was real, man. Because I remember being there, knowing what I got paid, and then watching him count his money, and being like, "So, do you give that to like a charity or something?" And he's like, "No, it's the greatest scam on earth. This is mine." And I was like, "Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you, sir."
Yeah.
I just went up there and bombed for an hour, and I got a fifth of what you're walking out of here for having a shitty duck.
That's ridiculous. And did you have to follow the duck, or you went on before it? You had to follow that.
Luckily,
right?
the feature was the buffer.
Oh, okay. Thank
that
God.
was the opening. That was the opening event. Was the duck.
And I thought following a juggler was hard. I had to follow a juggler once, and I bombed
I would love to follow a juggler compared to the duck. Man.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous, man.
And then trying to sell merch afterward when he's selling photos with the duck. He's selling Polaroids of people with the duck, and the line for him was 10 times the amount that it was for me. It was brutal.
Jesus, that's ridiculous for a damn shitting duck.
Yeah,
who would have figured that? Yeah, I never even thought of that. No, that would never would have come to my mind to play bingo with duck shit like that. That's crazy.
Well, you're not an entrepreneur, dude. That's
I know. I gotta start thinking outside the box, man. What's cool too is as I'm reading it, I'm like, you couldn't have written this without experience of the road. There's so many little kind of nuances and little things about the life on the road that you kind of nail it. That I'm like, man, only a guy who's been through it could touch on these so perfectly.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. What's it like? How long do you go on the road? I know you work like, 45 weekends out of the year.
Yeah.
So
On
what's road
average.
life? Yeah. What's it like, for you?
Well, I'm a happily married man now, dude. But so I'm trying to take it easy. I'll still drink too many beers and like the late night food, but I'm not a Coke guy. I quit weed. I'm, every day is a miracle I don't smoke a cigarette, but I'm trying to do the best on those. So yeah, it's just it's going to botanical gardens, it's going to rivers, it's going to big outdoor markets, it's going to farmers markets, it's going to used bookstores. It's really just trying to walk around, man, with like a feeling of gratitude that you get to be in Louisville, Kentucky, or you get to be in Portland, Maine, and just walking around and looking at stuff. And there's a term for it in, I think it's French. It's called a flaneur, which is just a person who walks around and looks at stuff with kind of like a feeling of, oh wow, I've never seen the light hit a tree at that angle before.
Right.
And as pretentious and like forced artiness that it sounds like I really do just try and take in Cheyenne, Wyoming, like it might be Paris, like I really want to I want to have the best cup of coffee in town, and I want to eat the best meal in town, and it's just trying to fill it without feeling lonely, man. And luckily, when you're on the road, you get to hang out with the funniest people in that town.
Right, yeah.
Because you're with comics. So like it's a lot of walking around, playing grab ass, pantsing each other, but also just like, being grateful, dude. Always trying to be grateful.
That's awesome, man. Because a lot of people travel, like, they'll tell you that every city's the same and all of this. And I bounce around, my day job, I work in sports. So I got to go to different cities all over as well.
What do you do?
I do sports production for the Jumbotrons.
Oh,
like
sick, man.
Yeah. So it's fun. But
are you a Jets fan or a Giants fan?
I grew up a Giants fan, and okay. I actually do some video work for the Jets this season, which it's been rough, dude. Yeah. Oh my God, this last game
against the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't catch a break, man.
I was stoked though because I had the Raiders teased to -2.5. In that last play, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
parlay is alive.
Now it's to the point where I don't want them to win. So I was like, yeah. I was in a bar when it happened, so everyone was Jets fans. So I didn't want to cheer, like I didn't want to laugh too loud. I was like, oh my God!
It was laugh out loud though.
Yeah, it was like
God,
these
man.
guys cannot catch a break. Yeah, but we, like you said, going to these different cities, a lot of people take them for granted. And they don't really enjoy it or realize, hey, man, how fortunate, like not everybody can see the world like this. Not everyone can go and get paid to go to these places,
And places are only boring if you're bored, like you can definitely get into the marrow of anywhere and find out why it's special and why people have lived there and decided to raise their families there. And yeah, I think that America and, luckily the other places I've been able to go for stand-up or man, I don't know. I'm getting all choked up because I haven't been on the road in a while, but
yeah,
I drove out to LA last week and was there for like 36 hours before I got back in the car and drove the exact same route home because of COVID. You don't want to be dicking around and LA's dead. And
yeah, man, LA's
I was just thinking about all the times I had on the road, man, and I just hope it comes back, dude. I hope we get to be able to travel like that again.
Same here, man. Yeah, because that's what I also want to ask you too, because I know some cities are different than others, and there is still comedy going on. At least the last I knew, in especially in the Midwest, I think there's some places opening. But I didn't know if you were still traveling or just keeping cool. Is Denver shut down too?
Denver's shut down, man. Yeah. And I'm trying to think. The last show I did, I think, was the weekend before Halloween. There was outdoor shows in Denver.
Right.
But I haven't done any indoor shows since March 17th,
Yeah, man. It's freaking nuts, dude. Let's hope this vaccine is for real and can get us back, man, because like everything's suffering.
So my wife's a doctor, and she says that she thinks it's legit, and that everything that they've been told, you know, she's gonna get it as soon as possible, and as well as all the frontline workers are. And you know, I love her dearly, and I believe her, but also there's that like conspiracy theorist in me who's like, well, who benefits from this, you know?
Yeah, right.
I'm hoping that society can get together and do what's best for the majority of human beings on this one occasion, you know. So
tell everybody where they can get the book and can find out more information on you, and
you can get it at samtallent.com, Tallent. Signed copies are on there. Instagram at Sam Tallent, and then I don't really like Twitter, but I'm Talent Sam on Twitter. But yeah, just get at me on the website, man. I appreciate you guys, and thank you, Don, for having me.
Yeah, thanks again. I appreciate I appreciate you coming on the show. This is big for me.
Of course, man.
You rock. The book, Running the Light. Everybody check it out right now. Get it. It's great. I'm telling you. Well, you are a throwback. You have an old soul, even in the way you talk and in some of your mannerisms. You kind of remind me of like old Brooklyn. Like
you'll be visited by three spirits, and I'm one of them.
You got like that. Hey, Daddy-o, like that old type.
Hey,
of
Daddy-o.
Have you ever said that?
No.
Yeah. But you have that kind of.
Is that how you say "daddy" in Spanish? Daddy-o?
So you have like an old school vibe going. Do you ever play off of that more? Like,
sure.
Yeah, like a nightclub. You remind me of like an old nightclub type of guy. Like if I was casting a movie and I needed a guy.
Are you casting a movie?
I might be.
Oh, well then, okay then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
stick
you'd be
around.
great.
I probably would. I'm agreeing with everything he's saying.
And you look like a younger me. You look like a younger version of me.
Really?
A little better looking than I am.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
He's already lying to me already.
Yeah.
He must be my agent. He must be my agent.
I will be your agent. I will be the agent to the great Goonin.
There you go.
But I do think also, just to pump your tires a little bit more, your singing is
Do you like to sing?
Stated. I think you should. I know you do sing a lot.
Yes.
But
I did a lot more on my stage shows than I did on my web series. I'm going to put more of that in there. But, you know, you got to figure out there's enough room for all that. Try to make it as concise as possible. But, yeah, I do sing.
Are you trained as a singer?
No, but I sang. I used to sing in jazz clubs and stuff like that. I used to sing with bands and stuff like that. Before I even did comedy, I was a singer.
See, like old style bands, like
Like jazz,
like
jazz
Don
bands.
has a good point. You're an old soul.
I'm an old soul.
Yeah.
I should be collecting Social Security by now.
Do you play any instruments or just sing?
I can play the kazoo.
That's cool.
And I can do like little noises, like I could do like and I can do the muted trumpet.
It's actually pretty good.
Is it bad that I'm enjoying this?
Yeah,
right?
it's bad that I'm enjoying it.
How you doing? It's Monty Belligerent here. It's been a while. I haven't been on in a while. So here's the thing. I go over to Walmart because I can't go to any small stores anymore, and they don't sell anything that I need. I gotta go to specialty shops for some of the things that I need. They don't sell any kind of pornographic materials at Walmart. Nothing. And I went to my local pornographic place to when I usually go to get my pornography, and it's closed because of the COVID. What are you gonna do? Guy said, we're closed. You're gonna have to go somewhere else for your dildos because we don't sell them when they're during the COVID. I went to Walmart and I asked the kid behind the counter. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's just walking around in a blue vest. And I said, listen to me. Where aisle do I find the dildos? And he said, the what? I said, the dildos. And he points me to the hot dogs. I'm like, no, they're no good. I can't use those. I need a real... I said to him, look, I'm a disgusting old man. Next thing you know, he's running away. He's running down the block, out the door, down the block, into the parking lot. I ran out there, and while I was out there, I figured just for fun, I'd push the wagons together. Then I went to Target. I said, listen, you sell anything here for sexual purposes? And they said, well, what are you talking about, old man? Get the hell out of the store. Where's your mask? I don't wear a mask in the stores because I don't give a crap if I drop dead. If I kill you, who cares? I'm going to be dead before you anyway. I don't care. So anyway, I go back to Walmart and I say to the guy, look, what are you gonna do about making sure that you have some sexual paraphernalia for us old guys who got nothing to do but stick things in places where they shouldn't be sticking them? I know this is disgusting. You think I don't know that? So all the little places where I get my my devious things where, because I'm a decadent, deviant, pervert, I can't go there now. Where you supposed to be a pervert with the COVID? What are you gonna do?
Hold the phone, stop the presses. I have a very important announcement to make. Don Sill's show, Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on Gov's Radio may be the best thing to prevent COVID since the N95 mask. Other things it's better than sliced bread, the clapper, actual sex. And that's saying a lot. Listen to it or be burned at the stake! I'm only kidding. Or am I?
All right, Benny. A lot of cool stuff has been happening lately as we're getting into the new year, getting closer and closer. But one thing is, everyone, the vaccine has now been released on Long Island and abroad. But now some people have finally gotten the vaccine.
Yeah,
the nurses have been getting it. All the frontline people have started getting the shots.
Right.
What do you think? Are you ready to get yours?
I want to wait a little bit. I want to wait and see, because here's the thing now, and here's my it's a dichotomy, but I'm a hypocrite, okay? Because I'm worried about if there's side effects. Are there going to be any side effects or anything? But that didn't bother me 20 years ago when I was buying a nickel and dime bag from some guy on the side on the street. When adults and our parents used to say, "Don't buy anything from somebody. You don't know what's in it. You don't know they could put something in it and everything." I wasn't worried about those side effects. I'm worried about something that government scientists worked on as to help prevent me from getting this horrible virus.
Well, you know
right?
what?
So they've worked on a lab in that. They've worked in a lab to get this virus, but none of us, all the people that are saying, "Oh, how do you know what's in it?" You didn't care when they were mixing cocaine in some field in Colombia and they were putting gasoline in the cocaine, and who the hell knows what else they were putting in this shit. And then you're snorting it up your nose. You didn't care about a side effect. Nobody worried about a side effect. Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead were making LSD in the basement in San Francisco somewhere and sticking it in your soda cans. And people would sell you LSD, and they were selling cocaine and weed. You're not worried about weed. You don't see anybody worried. Now that it's legal, you go in the store and you buy. Oh, I'm buying it, and the government is making that too.
Yeah. Exactly. If they really want to get you with the chip, they just put it in the weeds.
Exactly. They want to get you with a chip. They got these vapes now, right? You vape and there's edibles and shit. If they want to they are controlling you, you friggin' morons. They're controlling you. They're making you go out and spend $50 for a bag of gummy bears to get high.
Yo, smell this shit, yo. Shit's fire. Word, yo. Dog, Snoop Dogg can handle this shit, bro. Catch this? He's smoking on the moon, fam. Neil Armstrong, bitch. Trust me, Reggie. But yo, don't smoke all that at once, eh? Don't worry, don't worry. Know, fam. Holla at me, Reggie.
All right, who else's wishes I could fulfill this year? Hi, how are you? It's so glad to see you again, Stephanie.
Yes.
So, what is it that I could get for you this year?
Well, Santa, we've had a pretty fucking shitty year, and
Yes, Mrs. Claus says the same thing.
and if there's one thing, I haven't asked you for anything in years.
Yes.
I'm really, not like that, but I ask you one thing.
Well,
one
what
thing
is it?
only. Please do something for the restaurants. Open us back up. Get rid of this corona.
Well, I'm trying. Between going ahead and working miracles with getting the government to get the stimulus checks, that's never going to happen. But still, I'm definitely going to go ahead and I'm going to push that. Hopefully by this summer, this summer, I guarantee restaurants will be all back to the way they're supposed to be. You guys will be happy and jolly for the rest of the year, ready for next Christmas.
I'll take it. Yes.
All right, everybody. I am here with Stephanie at Jameli's. This is a great restaurant. How long have you guys been here in Babylon Village?
23 years.
23 years.
Yes.
So you guys are like a staple here.
We are. We made it a foodie spot, and then everyone followed after that.
I tell you, it's really nice. Just got here. It's the first time I've been here, and it's the decor and everything's really nice. I love it. I guess you guys are all Italian food here.
Authentic, Tuscan. Actually, it's a little bit of everything, but it's authentic Italian.
Very nice. Now, we had Dave Erwin here. He speaks very highly of you and of this place. What do you guys think of Dave?
He's great. He's got such passion, This is his passion project. It totally rubbed off on us. And we've created so many moments through this Rodney project. So he's great. He's enthusiastic and persevering.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I've only known him through this, and I feel like I've known him forever already. So he's a great guy. I love what he's doing. I love the idea of immortalizing Rodney Dangerfield. What's your thoughts on the statue?
I love it. Rodney it's so much more than his comedy. He had a message, which we discovered in our research. He always wanted to be part of an Italian family. There's a long storyline with him.
Some think the world was made for fun and frolic, and so do I, and so do I.
But he has done so much for people, other comedians, as we know, but he also had a message about respect, and he wanted it to go into public schools and how to teach children to respect one another. And he hoped, I think he said in a clip, within 2 to 3 generations, he wanted to be part of eradicating prejudice.
The eventual goal, if possible, is to have a course taught respect in public schools, and then in perhaps 2 or 3 generations, you could eliminate the majority of prejudice in the country. Who knows?
What you started, and all in a club.
Very cool. That's deep, and Rodney gets deep, and that's huge. And there must be a sense of pride that Rodney's from here. He's from Babylon Village. Has he ever been here in this restaurant? Do you know?
He hasn't, but he does have a special here.
Oh, really?
Yes, we were speaking with Joan over the last few months, and she told us some anecdotes. And he always wanted to be part of an Italian family. He grew up in an emotionally abusive family, which is the dark side of his comedy. But he always felt that Italians were warm and loving, and he loved Italian food. So when we found out, it was perfect. So we are giving him a special, which is the pasta bolognese, the pappardelle bolognese, right?
Pappardelle bolognese.
And that would be his thing. So every time, what we're thinking about doing, George, do I have confirmation on this? We're thinking about doing a little fundraiser as the statue project continues. So for every pappardelle bolognese that we sell, we're gonna donate a portion to the statue.
Wow, very cool. Everybody, get your pappardelle bolognese right here at
And that happens to be our signature item also.
Wow, yeah, so that's huge. So see that, everybody? So come down here, buy some delicious pappardelle bolognese, and also support the Rodney Dangerfield mission. So you're doing so much at once. It's just crazy.
I do have one more thing.
Excellent.
The watermelon, I don't know if we have it, or do we have the watermelon martini? Well, Joan had a thing. He was the first guy to make a joke about Viagra. He was the first joke on the air on Johnny Carson, I think it was. And so she said his favorite drink, he would come in, if he came in, he would test the watermelon martini, because watermelon's supposed to be nature's Viagra. And that was his big thing. But it's not on the menu until next summer when it's in season, so we'll see you then.
I'm going to the store now to find some watermelon, and I'll see you guys soon. Remember Jameli's restaurant right here in Babylon Village. This place rocks. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Hey, what do you got here, rocks?
Are you kidding? When I was your age, I would lug 50 pounds of ice up 5, 6 flights of stairs.
So what?
So what? So let's dance.
My girlfriend told me to come over. Nobody's home. I went over. Nobody was home.
Yeah, here's one I wrote, which was like a Rodney, and I never sold it to her. I had the claps. No, I dated a girl who had the clap so many times. Whenever we made love, I got a round of applause.
There you go.
Whenever we went to a bar, she ordered a shot of penicillin. Type of girl who wrote her own name and number on bathroom walls.
Nice.
And I wrote that. Yeah, I wrote that.
Yes. Gagoots. We're back here at Jameli's restaurant here in Babylon Village, and I'm here with Dave Erwin, the man behind the Rodney Dangerfield statue that we're going to put just a few blocks up that way at Argyle Lake. So Dave, like with this whole COVID, life we've been living this past year, we're seeing a lot of, turmoil within businesses. Dangerfield was like the first comedy club that shut down. I know you've been in contact with Joan Dangerfield. What's the situation going on with them?
Well, it's sad that Dangerfield's closed, but on a good note, after the pandemic is all over, Joan has intentions of opening a place in the city called Rodney's with all kinds of memorabilia, and it's going to be a beautiful place. So Rodney will live again.
So there will be another Rodney comedy club. This one will be even better. Rodney's have all of his memorabilia from his wife, and it sounds like it's gonna be really cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. The memorabilia that's gonna be on the walls should probably all be in a museum, but it's gonna happen. That there'll be a place called Rodney's, and Rodney will live on again, just like he will live on with the statue.
Very cool. Everybody, again, make sure you take the time to help sign the petition, help with the GoFundMe page. Come here, support Jameli's restaurant and Argyle Lake and the whole Babylon Village. This is where Rodney's from. He walked these streets, everyone. So this is pretty cool. The legend. Appreciate you, Dave. And anything else, any last words you'd like to say to the people?
No, I think we said it all, but let's show support of Rodney and let's give him respect and bring him back to the village where he deserves. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You have to subscribe to Don Sill's show, Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on Govs Radio. It's a show with his buddy Benny. They're good buddies. They're on TV. I don't know what I'm saying.
All right, Benny, that's the show for today. Another fun one in the books. Our first one back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I'm not in bed again. How about that?
Yeah, you're looking good. You look like wide awake too, and and we're doing
It
good.
won't last long.
The snow is piling up outside right now, and
Piling up. I got to go outside. That's why I got this energy. I got a shovel.
yeah, there you go. So I want everybody to remember to subscribe to our YouTube link right there. It's youtube.com/putupshutupstandup right there. Subscribe, like us, and share away, everybody. And yeah, man, Benny. I don't have the shirt with me, but we are going to have these shirts that I'm going to sell.
Okay, well, we'll show it on our Christmas show.
Yeah, we'll show it on the Christmas show. So we're starting to get our own merch going on. And also go to teespring.com as well. If you go to teespring.com and you go on Govs Radio, they have a ton of merch from all the Govs Radio shows, including Pasusu. And you could get coffee cups, t-shirts, and all that kind of stuff. All the proceeds go towards the radio station. So please, by all means,
help us out.
Help us out. You could probably, if you act now, you could probably get the stuff in time for Christmas. But yeah, man, a lot of fun, good times. Benny, as always, you're awesome, my friend.
You're awesome, buddy.
No, you're awesome.
You are stupendously awesome. You're awesomely awesome. You're incredibly awesome.
Wow. Well, thank
You're
you.
auspiciously awesome.
Wow, auspiciously awesome.
Auspiciously awesome. 30 years I've been saying that word. I still don't know what the hell it means.
We got to get a thesaurus.
I'm kidding. I know what auspicious means.
Thank you, Gagoots. You rock, my brother.
Thank you, buddy.
Enjoy the rest of your week. And everybody, we will see you next time.
Everybody, enjoy your week.
A Christmas show next week. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Peace,
All
everybody.
right.